AITAH for refusing to take my sister's kids to school after they've been bullying my son. My sister Sarah and her kids, Jake and Mia, moved in with us 6 months ago after her divorce. Initially, things were fine, but Jake and Mia have been teasing my son Ethan and making his life miserable. Despite Ethan's complaints, Sarah dismisses it as normal sibling stuff. Once her kids bullied Ethan, I told her that if she couldn't control her kids, I wouldn't drive them to school anymore. Now, Sarah is upset, claiming I'm punishing her and being petty. A bit of background. My sister, Sarah, and her 2 kids, Jake, 14M, and Mia, 12F, recently moved in with us after Sarah went through a rough divorce. She's been staying with us for about 6 months now, and we've tried to be as accommodating as possible. My wife, Laura, and I have one son, Ethan, 13M. At first, everything was fine, and the kids got along okay. Over the last few months, however, Jake and Mia have been making Ethan's life miserable. They've been teasing him constantly, calling him names, and even going through his things when we're not around. It's been especially bad for Ethan because he's more introverted and quiet. He's come to us multiple times, upset about things they've said or done, and I've tried addressing it with Sarah. Her response has been pretty dismissive, saying, "It's just normal sibling stuff. They'll grow out of it." The tipping point came last week when Ethan told me that Jake had taken his school project, something he'd spent days working on, and ruined it by drawing all over it. Ethan was in tears. When I confronted Jake, he laughed it off like it was a joke. Sarah didn't seem to think it was a big deal, and said Ethan was being too sensitive. Laura was furious, but tried to stay calm. I finally had enough and told Sarah that if she couldn't keep her kids in check, I wasn't going to keep doing favors like driving them to school every day. I've been taking all the kids to school since Sarah moved in because her car broke down and she hasn't been able to get it fixed. It's about a 20-minute detour for me, and I was happy to do it at first, but after all this, I told her it was too much and she needed to figure it out on her own. Now, Sarah is upset, saying I'm punishing her and her kids over something small, and it's not fair for me to leave her stranded. She even went as far as to say I was being petty and holding a grudge against the kids. She thinks I'm overreacting and should just let it go for the sake of family harmony. My wife is 100% on my side and thinks Sarah's kids have been out of line for months. But now Sarah's giving me the cold shoulder and telling other family members that I'm being unreasonable. So, AITAH for refusing to drive them to school anymore? Relevant comments. Commenter: overall NTA, but you only stated that you wouldn't drive them to school? Why the hell haven't you kicked them out? They are bullying your son. By ruining his school project, they are messing with his grades. What if that project is the difference between a pass and a fail? They are bullying him in his own home. Kick them out, and anyone who tells you you're being horrible and unfair, ask them, when are they taking her in then? OP: you're right. I think it is about time someone else takes them on as their burden. I have been doing this for long enough now, and she doesn't even seem as though she is trying hard to fix her situation. Commenter: why would she try? She's living, I assume, rent-free or at least reduced. You didn't say whether she is helping out financially at all. If she's not, why would she want to give up a free place to live with someone who was willing to ferry her kids around? Does she pay gas? Commenter: I would have kicked her out too just to protect my son. This is crazy. OP's son is being bullied at home and OP needs to do something. I kind of want to go, OP is AH, but not for refusing to drive the kids to school, but for not kicking out the abusive kids and his sister. Story 2. AITAH for telling a woman she shouldn't bring her aggressive dog to a coffee shop. TLDR. I confronted a woman who brings her aggressive dog to a coffee shop we both frequent. I have been frequenting this coffee shop for months and I love it. It's dog-friendly, and there's a large open terrace where people enjoy coffee while they working on laptops, enjoy one another's company, or just sit in peace. Until this woman started coming with her dog a few weeks ago. First of all, she lets her dog roam around. It has a leash on, but she doesn't hold it, nor does she pay attention. The dog barks loudly at any other dog that is near, and the woman either ignores it or, even worse, has the audacity to tell people to stay away or not sit near her. I've heard her say it's only small dogs or it's only brown dogs, etc., that triggers her dog, and that he's great otherwise. Today, I had enough. The only seat was across from her, so I sat down and her dog became disgruntled. Mind you, my dog doesn't bark at other dogs or show any signs of aggression or provoking of any kind. She asked if I could find somewhere else to sit because her dog would bite mine. Why in the world would you bring a dog in public regularly that has behavioral issues and a potential safety risk and expect everyone else to cater to your issue? I tried not to cause a scene, but I lost it. I told her she's being a rude buck and is disrespectful for bringing her dog to a public establishment. Everyone else shouldn't be hindered to enjoy a wonderful environment so she can bring her unhinged dog. No wonder the dog is unhinged. She is. Anyway, I was so upset with myself for losing it that I left today, but I still want to gob back. I just couldn't tolerate being near that woman today. I've expressed my concerns with the shop manager, but they haven't done anything about it. Comments. I would leave a public review that they are creating an unsafe environment by allowing aggressive dogs. Maybe then they'll do something about it. NTAOP. Agreed. A public review is sure to hold more weight. Commenter. NTA. And F off everyone. It's absolutely valid to call someone names when they push you like that. You snapped. No big deal. I also would have snapped. In fact, every single person who is acting so high and mighty pretending they would have taken the high road if they were in your shoes are probably lying to themselves. I'm surprised you didn't call her worse. She would have deserved it too. If you know your dog has the temperament to bite another dog just for existing, they need leashed and muzzled in public at all times. Story 3. AITAH for leaving. When family was late to meet me for breakfast on my birthday, I want to start this by saying I love my family more than anything. Even though they piss me off sometimes, they're my people. Be nice to them or I will hunt you down. So today is my birthday. About a week ago, my mother and sisters made plans to meet me at a little brunch spot in the city near her house, only a short drive away. We agreed to meet at 0700. My mom was driving my younger sisters who still live with her. I was driving in from out of town. Something to know about me is that I can't stand being late. It makes me feel sick in a literal sense. So I planned to be placed early. So despite getting stuck waiting on a train, I still showed up to the dinner at 0650. Something to know about my mom, who I love dearly, is that she is always late, no matter the occasion. Both of my sisters get truancy notices every year because they get dropped off late regularly. I think the only reason my mother hasn't been fired is because she has a government job. Well, I hurry up and start waiting. At 0720, I got a text from my sister saying, "Sorry, brother, mom slept in today. We're running late." I'm pretty upset at this point. I think to myself, this is just her showing no respect for my time, or really me. I can't help but think of all the other times people have taken advantage of my patience. At this point, I don't want to have breakfast anymore. I call my mom, but she doesn't answer. I waited another 3 minutes before texting her saying, "I'm leaving." Then I leave. Well, almost immediately after I left, Mom calls me and asks where I am. I told her I left. She starts talking about all the things she's done for me, and that it's wrong I couldn't even give her a 10-minute grace period. I say, "Oh, I see. I'm the asshole here," and I hang up. I know arguments are pointless because nobody changes their minds. Well, I haven't heard from my mother, but my little sisters are upset with me. I do feel bad about that. They're truly innocent, just in a bad position. I wish I was stronger for them. We all could have had a good morning. So am I the asshole on this one? Should I have waited or gone back after leaving? Relevant comments. Commenter. NTA. I lost a previous great friend because of their lateness. On 2 occasions, I went to their town, over an hour away, to meet them and left me waiting. The first time 1 or 20 minutes and the other 45 minutes when they lived 15 minutes drive from the spot we planned to meet. We were in contact throughout my whole journey, letting them know how far I was. But the minute I said I was there, I got the on the way response, but nowhere to be seen. After 45 minutes, I called. No answer. I texted and told them I was going home, but 20 minutes later, they said they hadn't even left the house by that stage, so I would have been still standing there waiting again. Commenter. When my 2 brothers were in high school, the oldest one was always late, anywhere from 15 minutes to 3 hours. My dad was the one who always said, "We will wait for them." Then, one day, my mom had had enough. She told us to eat because if we waited for the oldest, we would be hungry. She ate. Me, being the youngest, knew when mom had entered her done with this shit phase, and I ate. My other brother was smart and ate also. Dad didn't believe her till mom was done eating and put away the food. 4 hours later, longer than any other time, my oldest brother showed up mad because no food. Mom said from then on dinner was at 5, be there, because she would only hold up everyone else for 15 minutes. If you are not home by the time dinner is done, then you heat up leftovers. My oldest brother took 5 more times of us eating without him till he at least started showing up for food. Anything else was a roll of the dice. LOL. OP, you are so NTA. Story 4 AIO. GF disappears for 3 hours while on holiday in the middle of the night. A bit of background. I, 53M, have been with my GF, 49F, for around 8 years. We've had some rocky patches, and we both have dubious pasts and colorful sexual histories, and so are very careful to ensure trust cannot be called into question on either side. I've been whiter than white, and I'm pretty sure she has too for the past 5 years. Generally, We're pretty solid these days. The situation. We're on holiday abroad. It's our third night of 7 and everything has been great. We have dinner and watch the entertainment in the resort arena with more drinks, and we're both getting pretty drunk. At about midnight, we decide that the entertainment is pretty crap, and we've both had enough of the night and head back to our room. We get there. I crash on the bed, and that's all I know until 2 a.m. when I wake up and she's not there. I'm then sick from the alcohol, clean it up, and then between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. I call her phone 30 plus times. Unremembered by me. It's actually in the room in a drawer on silent where we left it before we went out earlier. Eventually at 4:30 I decide to go looking for her, so I head to the resort 24HR bar. No sign. And then to an outdoor seating area, and there she is, sitting drinking, smoking, and chatting with a MF couple. At that point, granted, I'm a bit pissed off, so ask, where the fuck have you been? Let's go. And she gets up and comes back to the room with me. I ask for an explanation, and she says that after I crashed out, she took her cigarettes and went to the 24HR bar looking for her phone. Note, we'd not been to this bar all night, so her phone could never have been there. She then said she started getting a bit of hassle off of a drunk guy, and the couple intervened to help her. She then sat down and got talking to them for the next 3 hours until 4:30 when I found her. 3 pieces of additional information for context. Firstly, on a previous holiday, 7 years ago, after an argument, she stormed off drunk at 4 a.m. and showed up 6 hours later, her clothes covered in sand with her panties missing. Actually, I was out searching for her, and when I got back to our room at 10 a.m., she was in the bath. She said she'd got lost. Actually, plausible. Our hotel was hard to find, but really needed to pee, so headed to the beach. Fell over in the sand, wetting her underwear, so she left them behind. After a bit of trickle-truthing, the story became that she got talking to a guy who said he knew how to get to our hotel, but then walked along the beach together for a while before saying goodnight and then going for a pee in the sand. Bear in mind, this was a busy resort with open hotels every 100 yards that she could have walked into to use the toilets and call a cab. I'm fairly sure she fucked the guy on the beach, losing her underwear in the process, but she swears that's not the case. Secondly, when we stayed in a hotel on a city break 5 years ago, again, I awoke to find her gone at 3 a.m. leaving her phone. She showed up a couple of hours later and said she'd gone out for a cigarette and then decided to explore the hotel. I have no idea what she was actually doing in that time. Thirdly, many years ago, before I met her, she was out drinking with some friends, decided to go back into a club after her friends left and ran into serious trouble, absolutely not of her making, and was SA'd. I'm royally pissed at her. She has a history of going off-piste and lying about it, so the pretext of going looking for her phone in the 24-hour bar is BS. We'd never been there, and we know it's in the room already, so that's a straight-out lie. Next, why take cigarettes? She could have had one on the room balcony as it's allowed in this country, and she has done all week. Then, staying out for 3 hours until I actually found her. I asked how long she was actually planning to stay out, to which she said she didn't know. Also, I'm pissed for it re-raising old wounds, back to the 2 previous events that I'd well put behind us, but wrecking the trust that we've worked so hard to build. Finally, I was absolutely worried sick that something bad had happened to her, given her previous SA. I promised her that I would make sure she was always safe. Her response was that I was completely overreacting, and that all she did was get chatting to a few people when she went looking for her phone and just lost track of time, and she couldn't see the problem with that behavior. As for the holes in the story, she just washes over them, saying I was just being picky for the sake of it and to make her look stupid. We've thrashed this out all day now. I'm a calm, logical person, and she reacts strongly and angrily. She asked what I thought she was actually doing, and my response was that I believe she went trawling for a hookup. She slapped me in the face at the point. She has apologized now, but denies any ulterior motives. But I find it hard to believe she could actually do this after all we've worked for after our past histories. So my case is packed, and I'm ready to GTFO and go home tomorrow. The mood is silent tense. So, AIO, relevant comments. Commenter, bro, she loves strange. You need to do yourself a favor and just leave. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. How do you plan to keep someone safe? Who gives you the slip every time you turn around to find some quick, naughty, anonymous parking lot, big stall of the girl's bathroom with handrails, or hidden beach love? Good luck. And I commend you for caring about someone that obviously does not care about themselves. Commenter, once bitten, twice shy. This seems to be the 4th bite. Is she going back early too? She showed her true colors long ago. Why are you still there? You've been underreacting for some time now. OP, no. If I go, I'll get a new flight and taxi to the airport. She'll get the hotel transport and book a flight on Sunday. Commenter, you know if you go home without her, she will hook up with someone. So make sure you are absolutely ready to call it quits. OP, yeah, I think she'd be that pissed/angry, filled with disbelief that I'd actually left, that she definitely would. How freaking sad is that? Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you enjoyed our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest ones. Have a great day.